Today on The Young and the Restless, Sharon gives Nick advice, Lily takes issue with Mamie's plans, and Adam realizes Sally still loves him. At Crimson Lights, Sharon and Nick talk up their successful business trips, but she notices he seems off and asks what's going on. Nick tells her he's good, but then admits he's not that good. Sharon can tell he wants to punch a hole through the wall right now. Nick doesn't want to get bogged down in personal stuff. They're business partners. Sharon reminds him they were married and are still good friends. Tell me what's going on. What happened? Nick relents and tells Sharon that while he was away, Sally had dinner with Adam. Afterward, Adam walked her to her room and kissed her. Sharon cringes. Oh, Adam. Nick rants that he's sick of it. Sharon asks what he'll do about it, and don't tell me you're going to confront Adam. Nick won't because he'd rip off one of his arms. He wants that son of a bitch gone and out of everyone's lives for good. Sharon doesn't condone what Adam does, but love is love, and they can't just turn it off as much as they'd like to sometimes. Nick argues that Adam doesn't love Sally, he just wants her like a trophy. Sharon disagrees and says the only way the kiss matters is if it somehow emotionally affected Sally. Nick hangs his head. Sharon asks, "Did it?" Adam follows Sally into the club asking what happened in the park. Sally doesn't want to discuss it and advises him to give Nick some space, and he'll cool off. Adam wants to know where he and Nick stand. Did you tell him that I kissed you? Is that what set him off? Sally wonders if he's trying to stir up trouble and asks him to leave it alone. Adam has to know where he and Nick stand because he's trying to mend his relationships with him and the rest of his family. Sally sighs, "Come on, Adam. You and I both know that is a complete lie." Adam asks why she's saying it's a lie. Sally tells him that despite what he said, everything he's said and done over the past couple of months proves he can never change. He can't let her go. He can't let go of Newman Media, and he can't let go of his anger at his father. You refuse to stop blowing things up. At the Chancellor estate, Abby's tidying up when Devon walks in wearing a suit. She admires his look, and he tells her Mamie invited them to the jazz lounge. He's hoping she'll announce she's the mystery investor and explain why she's kept it a secret. In her penthouse, Lily has a favor to ask Daniel. She wants him to be her date to the club, where Mamie has invited them. You're part of Chancellor Winters, so you should be there. She also wants to show Mamie how happy he makes her. Daniel has a meeting he's already canceled 3 times. In the near future, they'll get together with her aunt and show her how happy they are. Lily agrees and they embrace. At Newman, Nate tells Victoria to put her pencil down. It's quitting time. He wants her to accompany him to a family get-together held by Aunt Mamie. Victoria realizes this will include Lily and Devon and asks, "Are you trying to go to war with them again?" She doesn't think it's a good idea for her to come with him to a family gathering. His cousins aren't her biggest fans. Nate assures that they have too much respect for Mamie to cause a scene. This gives him another chance to mend fences with his cousins. Victoria knows he wants that. He reminds her they're in a relationship and it's high time she becomes part of his family. In the jazz lounge, Jack gushes to Mamie about how happy it makes him to see her beautiful and on top of the world. Jack wonders if she'll fill him in on what she's up to this evening. Mamie says she's a lucky woman with 2 families. She will always cherish the Abbotts, but now she has to work on building a relationship with Nate, Lily, and Devon. That's why she has to take certain steps to truly reconnect with them. Jack tells her she's driving him crazy with this mystery and implores, "Come on." Mamie relents and tells Jack that she bought out a private investor and now has a major stake in Chancellor Winters. If everything works out, this is just the beginning. Jack is thrilled for her and marvels at her investing prowess. She says she learned from watching John. Jack is tickled that it's all led her full circle back to Genoa City. Mamie tells him Victor is the private investor she bought from, and Jack finds it to be such good news. He just hopes she's prepared for the roadblock coming. Mamie quips, "Let's face it, who can prepare for Jill?" Mamie chortles that when Jill finds out how successful she's become as an investor, it will take her over the top. Amused, Jack adds, "Not as much as finding out you're the mystery investor." Mamie argues her money is as good as Victor Newman's. Jack reminds her logic doesn't always apply with Jill. He wants to know what else she has up her sleeve, but Mamie tells him her guests are arriving. Sorry, Jackie. Jack leaves the club after telling Mamie that he and Diane are planning their wedding celebration tomorrow. Mamie admits Diane has turned her life around and is looking forward to the event. Nate and Victoria walk in, where Lily is eyeing them from the bar. She rolls her eyes as Mamie takes them aside to show Victoria a photo of Nate as a baby. Lily flashes to telling Nate that him dating Victoria is a slap in her and Devon's faces. Snapping out of her reverie, Lily smiles half-heartedly at Devon and Abby as they arrive. At Crimson Lights, Nick tells Sharon that the kiss affected Sally more than she wants to admit. He thanks Sharon for listening and for talking him down. Sharon's always willing to help a friend keep from dismembering his brother. Nick grins. "It's one of the qualities that first attracted me to you." At the club, Adam knows what Nick thinks of him, but he thought he and Sally were in a better place. Sally asks, "Better than what?" They're friends, but he had to ruin it by kissing her. Adam apologized for that. Sally reminds him he said he didn't regret it. Adam still doesn't. It was an impulsive moment between them. Sally says it was more than that. She was just getting her life in order again, and thanks to that impulsive moment it's all teetering again. Adam realizes she's not talking about Nick's reaction to the kiss. "You're talking about yours." Sally accuses Adam of not wanting to repair relationships, but instead twist them into what he wants. She warns him to stay away from Nick and her. She did tell him about the kiss and it did affect him. Adam knows Nick very well. Him kissing her didn't upset him that much, it's more than that. He would only be upset if the kiss triggered some emotional reaction from her. Sally tells him to stay out of her life and out of her head and storms up the stairs. In the jazz lounge, Mamie thanks everyone for coming. "I feel as if I'm in a dream, standing here in Genoa City, my home for so many years." In the Neil Winters Jazz Lounge, she chokes up explaining how much she's missed them. Mamie is aware of their ups and downs and some of the anger and animosity that's been happening between them as well. It breaks her heart and Olivia's too. Drew and Neil are looking down with broken hearts as well. She intends to return to Genoa City to whip them into shape and make this family the powerhouse it was before, and that it shall be again. In her suite, Sally paces and sighs. She thinks back to Nick saying Adam has a hold on her and maybe always will. She picks up her phone and calls Nick. In Crimson Lights, Nick sees that Sally is calling. Sharon tells him he should take it and moves away. Nick answers and tells Sally he's with Sharon working. Sally knows he's not okay and says she's not either. She wants to talk this out and is surprised he can work right now. He says Sharon's pretty good at grounding him. Sally snarks, "Remind me to thank her." Nick decides she's right and they need to talk. "I'm on my way." He disconnects and exchanges a look with Sharon. In the jazz lounge, Mamie intends to unify this family from the inside. She has purchased a substantial investment in Chancellor Winters from a secret investor. Devon doesn't think it's a secret. They know it's Victor. Mamie hopes they're as excited as she is that she will be strongly connected to the future that Lily and Devon are building in memory of two of their most extraordinary family members, Catherine Chancellor and Neil Winters. They all raise their glasses. Mamie tells Nate they all know he's in deep at Newman Enterprises, but it would give her great pleasure to lure him away and rejoin them at Chancellor Winters. Victoria frowns and Lily gulps. "Excuse me. Did you just say, rejoin us?" Nick walks into the club, sees Adam, and flashes to Sally telling him in the park that the kiss left her with a mixed reaction because she could see how much pain Adam was in. He walks over to Adam at the bar and tells him, "You need to stop this. You need to leave her alone. For Sally's benefit, mine, and definitely for yours." His patience has a limit. Adam says he's right. What he did was wrong, and he wants to apologize sincerely to him and Sally. Nick knocks on Sally's door and she lets him in. He says just saw Adam downstairs. He swears he didn't lay a hand on him, but he warned him that he is going to leave her alone. Sally's sure he didn't take that well. Nick says he did. He knows he screwed up and apologized to both of them. Nick doesn't believe it. He's just trying to get him to let his guard down. Sally says Adam is going to do whatever Adam's going to do, but the only thing she cares about is the reason she wanted to see him. Nick asks, "What's that?" Sally just really wants to know if they're okay. Nick doesn't know. "That depends on her and what's in her heart. I want to know the truth, no matter what it is." Sally wipes a tear and says, "The truth is that I'm falling in love with you too." She throws herself into his arms. Nick doesn't look convinced. Adam greets Sharon at Crimson Lights. She says they're closed. He saw her car, so he thought he'd stop in and say, hi. He wonders if there's anything he can help her with. Sharon says he can tell her why he has to mess up things for everyone else. Adam guesses she spoke to Nick and can only imagine how he spun things. I'm guilty as charged, I crossed the line. Sharon agrees and feels badly for Nick. Adam does too. He's fooling himself. Sharon, Sally's not in love with Nick. Sally still loves me. In the jazz lounge, Mamie tells her guests that she knows Nate left Chancellor Winters under less than ideal circumstances, but she's hoping they can leave the betrayal and mistrust in the past where it belongs, and that we can invite Nate back to rejoin us in our family's company. Lily isn't sure that's possible and is confused by Mamie using the word us. She bought an interest in the company from Victor, yet she's making it sound like she'll be an integral part of it. What exactly are your intentions at Chancellor Winters? Suddenly, Jill's voice rings out, yeah, I'm pretty curious about that myself.